Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel Canada Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about IRCC latest updates September 2023. Welcome to the latest updates from the Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, for September 2023. In this information-packed segment, we'll be highlighting essential news and developments in Canadian immigration. Whether you're considering express entry, exploring job opportunities in Newfoundland and Labrador, or interested in the latest selection invitations, we've got you covered with the most current information to help you navigate your immigration journey. So, to get all the information, pay attention and watch the video through to the end. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for upcoming episodes. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. First of all, we talk about what counts as eligible work experience for immigration through express entry. The definition of eligible work experience in the context of express entry depends on exactly which program an immigration candidate is applying under. In other words, what is considered eligible skilled work experience varies depending on whether a particular candidate is applying to the Federal Skilled Worker Program, FSWP, the Canadian Experience Class, CEC, or the Federal Skilled Trades Program, FSTP. The following outlines exactly what does and does not qualify as skilled work experience for each program. Federal Skilled Worker Program, F.S.W.P. Under the FSWP, eligible candidates must have worked in a job, in Canada or abroad, that falls under one of the following four National Occupation Classification TEER, training, education, experience and responsibilities, categories: Tier 0, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. For work in any of the above tier categories to be deemed eligible, the candidate must prove that they performed the duties set out in the lead statement of the occupational description in the NOC. This includes all the essential duties and most of the main duties listed. The work completed in a job under any of these tier categories must also 1. Have the same NOC as the job a candidate would like to use for their express entry immigration application. 2. Have been paid for work where the candidate received wages or earned commission. 3. Have been obtained as 1 year of continuous work, 560 hours total, equaling 30 hours per week, in the last 10 years. 4. Have not been volunteer-based or an unpaid internship. There are 3 different ways a candidate can satisfy this condition. 1. Full-time at one job, 30 hours per week for 12 months equals 560 total hours. 2. Equal amount at any number of part-time jobs, any number of hours below 30 per week. As an example, working 15 hours per week at 2 different jobs for 1 year, 560 hours. 15 hours per week at one part-time job for 24 months would equally satisfy this condition. 3. Full-time at more than one job. See number 1 above. Hours worked above 30 per week are not counted for part-time employment. Special student provisions. If a candidate also meets the following 3 conditions, work experience gained during their studies may count towards meeting the FSWP's minimum eligibility requirements. A. The individual must have been paid wages or a commission. B. The individual's work must have been continuous, with no gaps in employment. C. The individual must meet all other eligibility requirements for the FSWP. Canadian Experience Class, C.E.C. SEC candidates must have at least 1 year of skilled work experience either part-time or full-time, in accordance with the same criteria as noted above for the FSWP in an occupation that fits one of the following 4 NOC tier categories. Tier 0, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. Note: skilled work experience for SEC eligibility must have been obtained in Canada only. To qualify as eligible work experience under the SEC, performed work must also have been 1. Completed in the 3 years prior to submission of the candidate's application. 2. gained by working in Canada while authorized to do so under temporary resident status. 3. Performed to an extent that satisfies all duties set out in the lead statement of the occupational description in the NOC, including all essential duties and most listed main duties. 4. Paid work, completed in exchange for wages or earned commission. Volunteer work and unpaid internships do not count towards SEC eligibility. Ineligible work experience, self-employment and students. Self-employed work experience and experience gained while a candidate was a full-time student does not count towards fulfillment of the minimum eligibility requirements for the SEC. Temporarily, self-employed foreign national physicians who were invited to apply, and submitted an application, for permanent residence in Canada via express entry on or after April 25, 2023, are exempt from the SEC's usual self-employment conditions if they have work experience in providing publicly funded medical services in Canada. SEC candidates who fit this description should not click the self-employed work checkbox under work experience in Canada to have their work experience counted as Canadian experience when creating their express entry profile. Federal Skilled Trades Program, F.S.T.P. Under the FSTP, candidates must have work experience that satisfies the following conditions to be eligible. 1. 2 years of full-time, or equivalent part-time, along the same criteria as noted for the FSWP above, work experience in a skilled trade within the 5 years prior to submission of an application. 2. Eligible work must clearly show that the candidate performed all duties set out in the lead statement of the occupational description in the NOC, including all essential, and most main, duties. 3. Performed work must have been paid, in exchange for wages or earned commission, X. Volunteer work and unpaid internships do not count towards FSTP eligibility. Note: in order for any work experience to be eligible under the FSTP, the immigration candidate must have been qualified to independently practice the trade occupation during this time. Otherwise, the individual's FSTP application will be refused. Additionally, eligible work experience for the FSTP must have been performed in one of the following 8 NOC groups. 1. Major Group 72, Technical Trades and Transportation Officers and Controllers, excluding Sub-Major Group 726, Transportation Officers and Controllers. 2. Major Group 73, General Trades. 3. Major Group 82, Supervisors in Natural Resources, Agriculture and Related Production. 4. Major Group 83, Occupations in Natural Resources and Related Production. 5. Major Group 92, Processing, Manufacturing and Utilities Supervisors, and Utilities Operators and Controllers. 6. Major Group 93, Central Control and Process Operators and Aircraft Assembly Assemblers and Inspectors, excluding Sub-Major Group 932, Aircraft Assemblers and Aircraft Assembly Inspectors. 7. Minor Group 6320, Cooks, Butchers and Bakers. 8. Unit Group 62200, Chefs. NOE we talk about, express entry. IRCC confirms it will resume draws this week. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, has confirmed that express entry draws will resume this week following a month-long pause. The last express entry draw took place over a month ago on August 15. It was an all-program draw that invited 300 candidates with a minimum comprehensive ranking system score, CRS, of 496. In an all-program draw, candidates are considered if they are in the express entry application pool and meet the minimum CRS score. Draw for transport occupations expected this week. In a release sent today, September 18, the department confirmed that later this week it will issue invitations to express entry candidates who meet the eligibility criteria for the new category-based selection for transport occupations. Commercial truck drivers, pilots, and aircraft assembly workers, among others, are all included within this category. IRCC says that filling these positions will help Canada's economy advance. As Canada grows its economy, We're committed to improving transport and infrastructure to ensure the safe and efficient movement of goods and passengers across the country, says Immigration Minister Mark Miller. Category-based selection helps us invite newcomers with experience in transport occupations to fill significant labor gaps and ensure the future success of the Canadian transport sector. What is category-based selection? On June 22, 2022, Canada's government updated the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act to allow for the selection of immigrants based on key attributes that support the country's economic priorities. On May 31, IRCC introduced 6 new categories for express entry candidates. One is for candidates with strong abilities in the French language. The remaining 5 focus on in-demand employment sectors currently experiencing a shortage of skilled labor. 1. Healthcare. 2. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, professions. 3. Trades, such as carpenters, plumbers, and contractors. 4. Transport. 5. Agriculture and agri-food. Since the new categories were introduced, there have been 2 draws for healthcare occupations, 1 for STEM occupations, 3 draws for French speakers and 1 for skilled trades. Through these draws, there have been 10,900 candidates invited through category-based selection draws so far in 2023. IRCC says that category-based selection will help Canada attract top global talent and meet the need for transport workers to support the economy. According to a recent report by the Globe and Mail, it is estimated that transport occupations will make up 1 to 2% each for express entry category-based selection draws. Third, we talk about Newfoundland and Labrador set to begin virtual immigration and job fair series this week. Beginning on September 20th, Newfoundland and Labrador will hold their first of 5 virtual immigration and job fairs for foreign nationals. This Wednesday, the provincial government in Newfoundland and Labrador will be conducting a virtual immigration and job fair for prospective newcomers to Canada from countries in East Asia, Southeast Asia and Oceania. Note: this job fair will take place virtually, beginning at 8 p.m. Korea Standard Time, KST, the first in a series of 5 fairs between now and March 2024. These job fairs are being held for prospective Canadian newcomers. The government says these fairs will give attendees the chance to 1. Receive direct access to employers hiring in your field. 2. Network with employers. 3. Upload your resume which employers can review. 4. Attend a live immigration program information session and ask questions directly to immigration officers. 5. Learn about the steps to immigrate to Newfoundland and Labrador. 6. Learn about what it is like to live in Newfoundland and Labrador, including the cost of living, lifestyle, jobs, salaries, population size and more. To register and learn more about the first fair in this series, for potential newcomers from East Asia, Southeast Asia and Oceania, click here. Upcoming Newfoundland and Labrador immigration and fairs. The following will outline the dates, times and regions for the remaining 4 fairs in this series. Each group of regions will be hyperlinked to the web page for that fair. October 25, 2023, Africa, 6 p.m. West Africa Time, WAT. November 16, 2023, Europe/Central Asia, 7 p.m. Irish Standard Time, IST. January 24, 2024, Middle East/South Asia, 6 p.m. Gulf Standard Time, GST. March 27, 2024, the Americas, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, EST. Note: registration for each fair can be completed at the respective hyperlink provided above, where you can also find frequently asked questions about the event. Immigrating to and living in Newfoundland and Labrador. In 2022, Newfoundland and Labrador was found to be Canada's happiest province according to Statistics Canada. This may be the case for a multitude of reasons but is nonetheless a signal that this province has a generally positive reputation, making it a worthwhile consideration for newcomers looking to settle in Canada. Among the advantages of settling in Newfoundland and Labrador as a newcomer are the province's affordability, cultural richness, safety, proximity to nature, and respect for education. For instance, this province is often praised for having some of Canada's most affordable housing options, including condominiums, semi- and fully detached homes and townhouses. Additionally, the minimum wage in Newfoundland and Labrador is currently $14.50, a figure that is on par with the rest of the country. However, the province is also expected to raise minimum wages again on October 1, 2023. These affordability measures and rising minimum wage figures mean newcomers to Canada will likely be able to better adjust to life in a new country and experience a better quality of life as a whole. For more information on landing and settling in Newfoundland and Labrador, click here to learn about everything from housing and employment to education, taxation and newcomer services across the province. Fourth, we talk about Canada announces first ever category-based selection invitations for newcomers with work experience in transport. On May 31, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada announced changes to express entry through category-based selection. These changes will help address labor shortages and support economic goals by inviting candidates with specific work experience or French language ability to apply for permanent residence. Today, the Honourable Mark Miller, Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship, announced that the first round of invitations for transport occupations through category-based selection and express entry will occur this week. This focus on candidates with experience in the transport sector, including commercial truck drivers, pilots, and aircraft assembly workers, will help the sector attract the skilled talent it needs across the country. Canada's express entry system is now tailored to provide a streamlined and efficient pathway for individuals with expertise in critical fields. By prioritizing the invitation of skilled newcomers with work experience in transport occupations, Canada aims to meet the increasing demand for talent and fill key positions that contribute to the nation's economic growth and advancement. Through category-based selection, Canada reaffirms its commitment to attract top global talent and help meet the need for transport workers to support the economy. These category-based selection rounds will continue throughout the year, alongside general and program-specific invitation rounds. As Canada grows its economy, we're committed to improving transport and infrastructure to ensure the safe and efficient movement of goods and passengers across the country. Category-based selection helps us invite newcomers with experience in transport occupations to fill significant labor gaps and ensure the future success of the Canadian transport sector. I look forward to welcoming more skilled workers to our country, as their knowledge and expertise are invaluable to meet our labor market needs. The Honourable Mark Miller, Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship. The transportation sector is crucial to our economy, and if we want to keep things moving, we need to invest in the people that move travelers and transport our goods. With this new initiative, we are helping address a critical skills shortage while also attracting new, talented people to communities across Canada. Truck drivers, pilots, aviation mechanical engineers and seafarers play a critical role in our economy and Canadians' lives. Filling vacancies in these professions will boost economic growth and create stronger and more resilient supply chains. The Honourable Pablo Rodriguez, Minister of Transport. Express Entry is Canada's flagship application management system for those seeking to immigrate permanently through the Federal Skilled Worker Program, the Canadian Experience Class, the Federal Skilled Trades Program and a portion of the Provincial Nominee Program. In June 2022, the Government of Canada made changes to the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act to allow for the selection of immigrants based on key attributes that support economic priorities, such as specific work experience or knowledge of French. On May 31, 2023, the Honourable Sean Fraser, former Minister of Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship, announced the launch of category-based selection, a new process to welcome skilled newcomers with work experience in priority jobs as permanent residents. The categories were determined following extensive consultations with provincial and territorial partners, stakeholders and the public, as well as a review of labor market needs. A complete list of eligible jobs for the new categories is available on our website. Under the Canada-Quebec Accord, Quebec establishes its own immigration levels. From 2018 to 2022, admissions under the federal high-skilled programs including the Federal Skilled Worker Program, the Canadian Experience Class and the Federal Skilled Trades Program accounted for 34% to 40% of overall French-speaking admissions outside Quebec. Finally, we talk about Canada Express Entry draw to target 10 transport jobs including truck drivers. We are recruiting long-haul, HGV, drivers for a major employer in Canada. If you have a valid Class 1 license equivalent in your country, please submit your CV here. Canada will hold its first occupation-targeted express entry draw for Transport Canada jobs, including truck drivers, this week, says Immigration Minister Mark Miller. As Canada grows its economy, we're committed to improving transport and infrastructure to ensure the safe and efficient movement of goods and passengers across the country, said Miller. Category-based selection helps us invite newcomers with experience in transport occupations to fill significant labor gaps and ensure the future success of the Canadian transport sector. I look forward to welcoming more skilled workers to our country, as their knowledge and expertise are invaluable to meet our labor market needs. Details of this draw had yet to be announced on Monday, but the Immigration Minister did state the draw would see commercial truck drivers, pilots and aircraft assembly workers sent invitations to apply, ITA. Under the changes announced by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, at the end of May, the express entry streams, including the Federal Skilled Worker, FSW, program, Federal Skilled Trades, FST, program and Canadian Experience Class, CEC, as well as parts of the Provincial Nominee Programs, PNP, are now more responsive to labor market needs and allow for occupation-targeted draws. Candidates hoping to immigrate through express entry occupation-targeted draws need at least 6 months of continuous work experience in Canada or abroad within the past 3 years in one of these occupations to be eligible. An experience that can have been gained while working in Canada as a temporary foreign workers with a work permits or as an international student with a student visa. Express entry transport occupations. The changes to Canada's immigration policies were put in place to help the country address labor shortages and support economic goals by inviting candidates with specific work experience or French language ability to apply for permanent residence. Transport Minister Pablo Rodriguez says it is vital for Canada's economic growth to keep goods flowing freely. The transportation sector is crucial to our economy and, if we want to keep things moving, we need to invest in the people that move travelers and transport our goods, said Rodriguez. With this new initiative, we are helping address a critical skills shortage while also attracting new, talented people to communities across Canada. Truck drivers, pilots, aviation mechanical engineers and seafarers play a critical role in our economy and Canadians' lives. Filling vacancies in these professions will boost economic growth and create stronger and more resilient supply chains. Canada first signaled its intention to start occupation-specific draws through express entry in June last year, when changes were made to the Immigration, Refugee, and Protection Act to allow invitations based on occupations and other attributes, such as language ability. The majority of Canada's provinces have been issuing occupation-specific invitations for several years. Under the changes to the Act, the Immigration Minister is required to consult provinces and territories. Members of industry, unions, employers, workers, worker advocacy groups, settlement provider organizations, and immigration researchers and practitioners, before announcing new categories. IRCC must also report to Parliament each year on the categories that were chosen and the reason for the choices. Employment and Social Development Canada, ESDC, says the number of occupations facing shortages doubled between 2019 and 2021. From 2018 to 2022, federal high-skilled admissions accounted for between 34 and 40% of overall French-speaking admissions outside Quebec, which manages its own immigration intake. Under the Canada-Quebec Accord, Quebec establishes its own immigration levels. From 2018 to 2022, Admissions under the federal high-skilled programs accounted for 34 to 40% of overall French-speaking admissions outside Quebec. Thank you for joining us for these important updates from IRCC in September 2023. Stay informed and keep abreast of the latest immigration news and opportunities as Canada continues to welcome newcomers from around the world. If you found this information valuable, please like, subscribe, and share to help others on their path to Canadian immigration success. We'll be back soon with more crucial updates to support your journey to a new life in Canada. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next episode. Till then, take care.